So why is it only 7% of men ever lose their belly fat? Is it genetics? Is it hormones? Or do some guys just have it easier than you? Well, after coaching over 700 men to lose their belly fat, like Logan, Andrew, and Eric, I can say there are 5 types of men who always fail. First up, we've got the exercise gadget guy. This is the guy that's in the HIIT classes. He's smashing the cardio. He's got a PT in the gym. He's taking every breakthrough supplement. He's tracking everything on his Whoop bands, doing the in-body scans, all to avoid the one thing that actually works, fixing his diet. This is the guy who'd rather spend 10 years looking mediocre, trying to find a completely different solution, rather than just tracking his calories for 90 days. And next up, we've got the extreme guy. This guy is far too optimistic, sets huge targets, thinks more is better, training 6 days a week in the gym, 2-hour sessions, extremely restrictive diet, thinking all his past efforts doesn't matter because he's going to really get it this time. Then 2 weeks later, he realizes, I can't keep this up, and he quits. And even if he does lose 20 pounds, guess what? He's got nothing to go back to after the extremely restrictive diet. And that's exactly when he goes back to his old diet model that got him fat in the first place, gains it all back. Next up, and this is most of you, the I deserve a reward guy. You see, complacency is the biggest killer of results. Whether it's 3 weeks in, that's usually when you see the first motivation dip, whether it be 3 months in, 6 months in, everyone is going to come across this point. This is where you're like, I've been working so hard. I deserve a reward. One bite won't hurt. This is where you skip a workout. This is where you tell yourself, it doesn't matter, I've been working this hard. But then after you skip a workout, you skip a meal, you have a little cheat meal here, a little cheat meal there. Everything starts to slip, and it always starts with the smallest thing you think doesn't matter. But trust me, once you open that door, everything slips. You end up back at square one. Then we have the no structure guy. This is the guy that wings it in the gym, does random workouts, wings it with his diet, thinks eating healthy is enough, has no goals, no real timeline, no reason why. This is the guy that does what he feels like and gets nowhere. Lastly, and this is a big one, I see it all the time. Guys stuck looking mediocre because they're like, I like my weight. I don't want to get too light. They'd rather look mediocre for 10 years than drop below a metric they deem to be slightly too light. They cover it up with, I don't want to lose muscle, which is also known as, I don't want to face up to the amount of muscle I currently have. I'd rather sit at 20% body fat and just ignore it. Here's a reference you all need to hear. Brad Pitt at 5'11", what weight was he? 180, 190? He was 155. So you have to get lighter than you think, because let's be real, he looks better than 99% of the population. So most of you who have been training, and most likely ineffectively, the likelihood of you being 180 shredded is very low. So ditch the ego attachment to the scale, look good instead. The truth, losing belly fat is incredibly simple, especially when you know what hurdles are going to come up and a few simple mindset reframes. Stripped back to its basic principles, there are 4 key pillars when it comes to losing belly fat. Firstly, and this is the biggest lever for you dropping weight, this is your calorie intake. So if you eat less calories than you burn, you'll lose weight. If you eat less calories and have enough protein, you'll lose fat. Now, if you eat less calories, hit enough protein, and prioritize single ingredient whole foods, you'll lose fat, feel full, have a ton of energy, and maximize your testosterone. You see, that's the jackpot of a winning diet. And it's not as strict as you think. It doesn't have to be chicken and rice 6 times a day. Firstly, you don't have to spread your protein out. Secondly, you don't even have to touch chicken and rice if you don't want to. It can be as simple as 1 to 3 high protein meals spread out the day for your convenience. It can literally take you 5 minutes. 0 fat Greek yogurt with berries at breakfast, 0 prep time. Then at dinner, you have steak, sweet potatoes. You can stick the sweet potatoes in the oven, forget about them. Steak takes 5 minutes, you're done. Secondly is the lever that doubles the fat loss effect of the diet. This is your sleep. If you sleep 5-6 hours right now, you could literally double your fat loss and muscle growth overnight jumping to 8 hours. So if you're that late night cardio guy, or you get up extremely early to smash out cardio at the expense of sleep, just focus on your sleep. So 8 hours before bed, cut out all caffeine. 2 hours before bed, take your magnesium, cut out all big meals after that. But 1 hour before bed, this is the big cutoff time. This is where you're cutting out any work, any screens. This is where you're relaxing, doing your breath work. This wind down time is essential for deep quality sleep. You're sitting there getting blue light stimulation, you're not getting deep sleep, you're not recovering, you're not going to lose that fat. Thirdly, this is the skinny fat mistake. You're working way too hard. This is exercise. You see, a lot of guys think, I need to do a ton of intense cardio to get shredded. You see, even if you're doing everything else right, instead of losing fat, you're losing muscle. And doubled on top of that, you'll spike your hunger, which will mean you're going to give up on the diet that much sooner. The most impactful fat loss exercise is actually a 1-2 combination that lowers your hunger, aka it makes the diet easier. And more crucially, you'll build muscle, which will mean when you actually do get lean, you will look good. This is walking and lifting. Walk at least 8,000 steps per day, lift at least twice per week, getting stronger at key lifts. So this can look like your Bulgarian split squats, your incline presses, your bent rows. Nail the basics. This will keep hunger low. We're not trying to train 6 days a week. That will only spike your hunger further. 2 to 3 days a week, 30 to 45 minutes. Get stronger at key lifts. You will look fantastic when you get lean. And not only that, it's so much easier to get lean when fatigue is low. And the most obvious, but this is the most crucial, the real reason why guys fail, they can't stick to it. The key is make it so hard to lose, you force yourself to win. Step 1, the environment. Clear all temptations. So this means no snacks in the house that you tend to overeat, no processed junk. Also, delete your fast food apps, unfollow the food pages, because the triggers are 90% of the problem. If you get rid of the triggers, you make your life 10 times easier. Step 2, set clear, realistic goals. Don't try and do 6 days a week, 2-hour sessions, especially when you're coming from nothing. Doesn't work either way. If you can only do 2 days a week in the gym, do 2 days. If you can only have enough time to make 2 meals in a day, make 2 meals in a day. Always start lower and stay consistent. Don't try and chase 5-pound weight loss a week, 10-pound weight loss a week. Step 3, get clear on why you're doing this. This is the only defense to step 4. This can be as simple as you're tired of avoiding mirrors. You're tired of dreading that time of the year where you have to show up to the beach shirtless. Or this can be on another level. You want to set a good influence for your kids. You don't want them to end up with your habits. Figure out what drives you, or you'll be looking at the exact same situation for the next 10 years. Step 4, understand the hurdles. Look, there are going to be weeks when you don't want to do it. This is where 99% follow their impulse, they give up. This is where you separate yourself. There are going to be weeks where you feel complacent. But all you've got to do, lift up your shirt. Are you where you want to be? The reward isn't some food prize. It's fitting in the shirts that you want to wear, being confident in any piece of clothing in your wardrobe, showing up to the beach with pride. There are going to be weeks where your weight stalls. Some of you, even in the first 2 weeks, your weight's going to stall. But it's the guys who remain consistent during the period of stalling. Those are the guys that get rewarded. So I've seen it thousands of times with my clients. It gets under everyone's skin. But as long as you know there are so many factors at play and that there's a big drop coming on the other side, for those of you who stay consistent, this helps you stay unemotional so you can push through, tick all the boxes, then get rewarded. There will be weeks where you're hungry, you're tired, but hunger doesn't mean you have to eat. Look, I've done so many 72-hour fasts. It's not as if you're going to die. You've got a ton of stored energy on your body. But what you don't have is mental resilience. So every time you shut down that hunger impulse, you're building that mental armor, getting stronger, you're getting more resilient. And then it becomes a breeze. And while that is one aspect, we also want to follow the hunger flow chart. So when you first get hungry, ask yourself, Am I hungry for a pure protein? Could I eat like a chicken breast right now? If the answer is no, it's not actual hunger. This is where you take on step 1, 500 milliliters of sparkling water. If you're still hungry after that, move on to step 2. Now, step 2 is going to be, if it's before noon, have a shot of espresso. This is going to bring your cravings right down. And if you're still hungry after that, have a small lean protein, something like zero fat Greek yogurt. Then if you're still hungry after that, have a full high protein meal. Load up on the veggies, load up on the fresh fruit. This will kill your cravings dead. And if you're still hungry after that, repeat from step 1. And this is a very important one. You won't see visual results until the very end. You see, my client Donovan, he lost 70 pounds. And whilst he looks fantastic right now, when he'd lost only 55 pounds, it wasn't a big deal. He only started looking good in the last 15 pounds of weight loss. Same with Andrew, lost 80 pounds, didn't start looking really good until those last 15. As long as your monthly trend of weight loss is going down, you're nailing enough protein, you're getting enough sleep, and you're training in the gym at least twice per week, pushing as hard as you can, you've got the winning formula. The only other factor is time. Yes, in most cases, people think I need to lose 10 pounds, they need to lose 30. You have to get lighter than you think. And as always, if you want me to take out the guesswork entirely and follow a proven system that has helped over 700 men lose their belly fat, click the link down below. Book in a call with myself or one of my team. What we'll do is we'll look at where you are now, where you want to go, and how we can help you bridge that gap. And I'll build your fat loss plan around your lifestyle. No guessing, just results. And I'll see you in the next one.